All right, we are live with head coach Jon Sumrall. Coach, we really appreciate you coming in, especially after a big win on Thursday night. Like I said, appreciate you coming in and riding the wave, the high wave from Thursday night. So
Yeah, I'm
appreciate it.
glad to join you guys. I appreciate y'all having me. I'm glad it finally worked out for me to hop on with y'all.
Yes,
Sure.
sir. Yes, sir. So, how did it feel like? The first game coaching as the head coach for Tulane. How did that feel? You want to sum that up? How it felt for you and the guys?
Yeah, it was fun. The weather potential weather delay we thought could be happening was we got to the stadium and everybody kind of thought from a game op standpoint the communication to me was very likely to have a lightning delay at some point, which that kind of stinks because game one you're itching to go, you're ready to go, and the guys are fired up about going out and playing. But once we're able to kind of avoid all that, man, it was a blast. Always good to get a win. Winning the scoreboard looked really good. The details of our performance left a lot to be desired. We still have a lot to improve upon, and we got a lot of work to do to get ready for this week. If we don't improve really quickly, it's not gonna go very well for us. But man, it was fun, and I tell you, I was really blown away with the student turnout. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned that Thursday night in my availability after the game. That like I didn't really notice it until probably a TV timeout, and I was talking to the officials, and I looked up at the scoreboard to my left, the big scoreboard above the student section. I'm like, "Dadgum, that section's full, man. That's awesome." So
Yeah.
I'm kind of zoned in on the game, but yeah, it was fun, man. We had a blast. It was good to get a win in game one, and now the competition gets a little stiffer, and we got to get ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, Ethan's flying in all the way from New York for this week, so it's a
Yes,
big
sir.
one.
Yeah, if you need me to suit up, let me know. I'll be there.
Hey, I'll take any availability you got to go make a play or two. I'll take, man.
Coach, I don't know about plays, but it might be a lot of morale that we can offer.
Yeah. Juice up the sideline for sure.
Yeah. Hey, any contribution will help. We'll take any effort we can get.
Yes, sir.
So kind of, I guess, off the first game, what were some things that you liked? And like you said, obviously some details to iron out. What are a couple of those details you think you guys really need to get straight before you face Kansas State?
Yeah, a couple of things I liked. I thought we were fairly efficient offensively. Early in the game, our run game, it took us a little time to get going. But once we got going, I liked what I saw. I thought we played clean at the quarterback position for the most part, regardless who was in. I thought all the guys that got in did a good job and executed the right way. Obviously, we had the one drop that would have been a touchdown. We got to make that play, and our guys know that. Defensively, I didn't think we tackled great. I thought we were trying to like shoulder guys, knock them down by lunging instead of wrapping arms around our feet, and then setting better edges. And then Southeast did a good job of getting the ball out quick. So they didn't really give our front guys a great opportunity to get after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But we still got to affect the quarterback more. One other thing I thought offensively we got to do early in the game, we got to get on moving targets up front. They moved their front a little bit, and we got to get attached in the run game and help our backs out. And then the kicking game was just not pleased with kickoff coverage. A couple of the kicks were left out in the middle of the field. They weren't in the left where we need to have them. And then some of it was detailed execution. A couple of them, what I didn't think was our best effort. So that team, we got plenty to clean up on. The running to the punter wasn't a very good. We called the rush. We didn't execute it very well, and so that's not ideal. But I thought made all our extra points. Only had one field goal attempt. Made that. But there's plenty to get better at. I mean, I got a laundry list written down of things that I've gone with our staff, and the players have already heard once. They'll probably hear it about 5 more times before we play the game again. But just a lot to improve upon, and really I've talked to the team Friday morning about I want to be the most improved team in all of college football between week 1 and week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's make it a goal to we're the most improved team in America between week 1 and week 2.
Yes, sir. Good deal. And I know you talked about last game. I know you don't want to look ahead too much. You want to fix what you got to fix. But is there anything that you've looked at so far from Kansas State? I mean, obviously they played one game. I think they won. I believe it was like 41-10 or 41-7. Don't quote me on that. But is there anything that you looked at that player wise or anything that's that has to be a key to victory in this next matchup?
Yeah, we're just really we looked at him a little bit this summer. We looked at him again Friday a lot. I gave the staff a little time off yesterday. We've been in since this morning and really have a little familiarity with them. They got a youngster starting at quarterback, a true sophomore kid.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Will Howard kid starting last year. They kind of moved on from him to start this guy. Will ended up leaving and going to Ohio State. He's the starter there. So kind of scary quarterback room that you got two guys you believe in that much that you asked one to leave so you could start the young guy, and the guy you asked to leave is the starter in a big-time program like Ohio State. But the kid they're playing right now can really run. He threw the deep ball pretty well the other day. It took him a little bit of time, little bit of the game flow to get in sync in the intermediate pass game. He hit a shot play on a post and an unbalanced set for like a 50-yard completion last night. Like I said, he can really run. I mean, he is fast. And then they used two backs. One of them's a transfer from Colorado, number 3. He's a great pass catcher as well as a good running back. The other back's a little bit more of a conventional back. O-line's big. They're older. Not necessarily all of them have played a ton of football, but they're older guys. They're veteran guys.
Mm-hmm.
They got some good receivers. And then defensively, what they do structurally, a lot of 3 safety stuff. They present some unique challenges, some stuff you don't always see.
Mm-hmm.
Not really that conventional, but with what they do. And they've always been sound in the kicking game. They blocked a punt last night against UT Martin. Pretty balanced rush, but one guy got through the shield. And so we've got this is a team, when you watch the history of what Kansas State's been, you can't beat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how they play. They're not going to beat themselves. They play really good, clean, fundamental football. And so we've got to execute at a high level and just be detailed with our assignments and do our job well.
Yes, sir.
100%.
100%.
I guess one random question, doesn't even have to do with the game. I was just thinking about it.
Okay.
So obviously you gave the coaches off yesterday, assuming you had some time. Do you watch a bunch of college football like everybody else?
Hell yeah, I watched every game. I mean, hey, I'm a football junkie, man. Like I watched Game Day, which I don't get to do that very often. That was kind of fun. My 11-year-old daughter, was sitting there watching. She looks at me, she goes, "Dad, that guy looks a lot like Nick Saban." I said, "Sweetheart, it is Nick Saban." Yeah. I watched I watched the 11:00 games. You had West Virginia and Penn State.
Yeah.
And you had I watched enough football yesterday. I can't remember them all, but there's another good 11:00 game. Georgia Clemson. Yeah. Yeah. I watched that one. I watched the 2:30 game. The big one was Florida and Miami.
Yep.
And then the late night game, the big one was Texas A&M Notre Dame. But then I watched North Texas and South Alabama on my phone.
Yeah.
I watched my Troy Trojans where I was before on my phone because I still love those guys and pull for them. And
yes, sir.
I watched a lot of I was at my house most of the day. I went to a friend's house late last night and I was watching whatever game we had on the TV, and then I had my phone on whatever other game I wanted to see, and I was kind of clicking around. I watched a little bit of UTSA, Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch 1AA football. I love football, man. Like,
yes, sir.
I don't care who it is. So, yeah, I'm a junkie. I was pretty glued to the TV. I tried to hang out with my kids a little bit too, but I'm like, I've got a habit that's, addicting. It's called football.
Yes, sir. Just guys being dudes. That's all it is.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's great. I mean, was there one game that kind of caught your attention from the just a slate, or was it?
It's a good question. The one of them that did that I didn't even mention was the Virginia Tech Vanderbilt game. I really watched that one closely. Mm-hmm. We obviously played VTech in our bowl game here last year. They had a bunch of guys coming back, and a lot of people kind of had them picked as a dark horse candidate maybe to make the playoff. And then Vanderbilt brought in the OC from New Mexico State and the quarterback from New Mexico State.
Oh yeah.
The Diego Pavia kid, or however you say his name, and he made some plays, man. He was fun to watch. He's just kind of crafty. I don't know how well he runs, like if you timed him at 40, but he in the pocket runs well and kind of extends and creates plays. And Like, I don't think he's Michael Vick, but I think he runs good. And the way they played Vanderbilt, man, I watched that one and was impressed with how they played the game.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was a good one. Like you said, it was kind of a fresh wound because it was the Virginia Tech game. But
I know.
That's old news. We flushed it, and now we're now in this season. You know what I'm saying? So it's we're excited. You know, for especially being like alumni, like Ethan and myself. So it's there's a lot of buzz around Tulane football, and it's good. We're excited, Coach. We're excited to be out there at 7 o'clock in the morning tailgating this weekend. You'll probably hear it, fans.
You have a quick message for the fans.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd say to the New Orleans folks that you give them a reason to come out?
Yeah, we need to create a fantastic home field advantage for our team. I mean, we've got a great stadium, you know, on campus. It's the 10-year anniversary of football being back on campus in Yulman at Tulane. You got a ranked team coming into our house, and we've got a quality team that's worked really hard. And they need the support. We need, you know, the other team's got the ball on third down. We need to be ridiculously loud and cause a couple false starts or create some indecision communication-wise for them. And our guys feed off it. You guys know, y'all played. I mean, you can tell when the stadium's full, and you can tell when it's not as a player. And as a coach, I'm probably a little bit more just focused on the game. But players, man, the energy that's in the stadium affects the game positively if you got the right crowd and the right home field environment. And so we need to create it, and I think it'll be a great home field advantage for us. I'm excited about playing at home on ESPN against a ranked team, and you know, you get a chance to prove people right or prove them wrong. Well, a lot of people right now don't have us ranked to win the conference or make the playoff, or I hadn't seen very many predictions where we're the team that people are saying is going to do it. So our guys get to decide whether we want to prove people right or prove them wrong, and this is a tremendous opportunity to go out and measure ourselves against a quality team.
Yes, sir.
100%.
One last thing. I'm sorry. I know we're gonna let you go. Right.
No, you're good.
And I know this is the thing that I love about this team right now too is that the standard's already been set, and I'm sure like everybody talks about this, the standard's been set. And for looking back on the year that we won the Cotton Bowls, we went to Kansas State and beat Kansas State, and a lot of the guys on the team right now were a part of that team. So how much is that affecting the locker room? Just morale and confidence boost this week going into this game, that there's guys that were on that same team that did that. And I know it's a completely different team and you can't tag the same thing, but is that a confidence booster that, you know, you have those guys that played in that game already and did it at their house?
Yeah, I think it's nice to be able to have a guy like Pat Jenkins or those kind of guys that are, you know, Eric Hicks was on that team. You know, there's a handful of guys that were on that team that are still here, you know, and I think for them to be able to draw confidence on like, hey, we've done this, we can do this, is nice. Now, you know, just because it happened then doesn't mean we're going to get to do it. We got to go earn it, right?
Exactly.
You get what you earn. And so our guys have to be really focused on doing their job better than the other team does their job and do it at a high level. And but there's something about guys having been there and done that. At the same time, there's probably more guys that weren't on that team than are. And so for me, it's like, hey, y'all, you guys that feel like we've done something, most of the guys in this program weren't a part of that. So, you know, I think that's one of the things when I got here that I was so impressed by, honestly, is like, and I asked several of the guys that I've had a chance to be around one-on-one, is like, okay, how do we, like, tell me what went right to go from 2-10 to the Cotton Bowl? Because I've been a part of some really cool turnarounds, and that's a pretty monstrous turnaround. Because 2-10, you're like, okay, something's not right here. What do we got to get fixed? Yeah. And then to get that turnaround in 1 year, and so we're fortunate to have some guys that were a part of that. And I think more so that whole turnaround, more so than just the Kansas State game itself a couple of years ago, is something that I've been intrigued with and asked the guys that are here, like, hey, what changed? What happened? What got it fixed? And so I think there's something to having those guys that have that experience. And, you know, if you've gone the way, then you can show others how to go the way. If you hadn't gone the way, it's hard to show somebody how to go the way.
Yes, sir. 100%. Well, we're looking forward to it, Coach. We're pumped. I know you're pumped. Last Thursday, as we were at work, and we felt like we were playing the game. I'm sure you felt the same way.
My game day. I was texting Rem and I said my game day juices are flowing, but I'm sitting here at my desk. Doesn't feel right.
Crunching numbers, and you just feel like you about to go throw the pass. Yes, sir. So we're excited.
You just want to smash your computer screen, huh?
Yeah, you just want to shove your head through it. And
yeah, I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we're looking forward to it, Coach. So we appreciate you coming on and taking the time out of your day. So
thank y'all. I appreciate y'all and look forward to seeing you soon. Roll away.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach.